Hello everyone, welcome you all. Today we are going to learn about different styles of textile printing and I'm going to give you an overview of these styles. What is printing? Printing is the method of localized application of dyes or pigments that produce particular color effect on fabric according to the design. How printing is different from dyeing? Unlike dyeing, in which the fabric is colored throughout by immersing it in dye bath, printing is a localized application of dyes or pigments in paste form to a fabric to generate a pattern or a design. Printed fabric usually have well-defined edges in the printed portion on the face of the fabric. Now we are going to learn about the process of producing a pattern or a design on a yarn or on a fabric. Traditionally, textile printing techniques may be broadly categorized into 4 styles of printing, and these are direct printing style, discharge printing style, resist printing style, and modern printing style. Let's begin with direct printing style. It is one of the most common techniques of color design application, where the dye is directly applied onto the fabric. This print is also called as an application print. If direct printing is done on a colored fabric, it is known as overprinting. The printed design in overprinting are considerably darker than the background color. In direct printing, the dye is imprinted on fabric in paste form and any desired pattern may be formed using any of the printing method such as block printing, screen printing, roller printing or transfer printing. After printing, the cloth is dried. Color are fixed by steaming or dry heat method. Washing follows to remove the paste residue. These are few direct printed sample using different method. This is block printed, screen printed, stencil printed and heat transfer printed. Now how you are going to identify that these are direct printed fabric? The characteristic feature of direct printing is that usually it has white background or has a large portion of white. The printed design is lighter in shade on the back of the fabric than on the face of the fabric. But this may not be evident on lightweight fabrics because of strike through of the printing paste. Now we move on to second printing style, that is discharge printing style. In discharge printing style, the fabric are dyed in solid color prior to the printing and then the design is applied by screen or roller with the chemical that destroy the color in the designed areas. Sometimes the base color is removed and another color is printed in its place. After printing, the fabric is steamed and then thoroughly washed to remove the chemical residue. There are two types of discharge printing style and these are white discharge and color discharge style. White discharge style. Let's take an example to understand this. Suppose if you want a white star on a blue background. First, you have to dye the fabric with the blue color and then print the fabric with the printing paste containing the discharging agent. After printing, the fabric is steamed. The discharging agent on the printed portion will destroy the ground color and thus produce a white on the base color. And this way you will get the white star on a blue background. In color discharge printing, one or more colors may be applied, producing a color design instead of white on the dyed ground. And this is achieved by adding a dye that is resistant to the bleaching action. Suppose if you want a green star on a blue background, first dye the fabric with the blue and then paste the print paste apply, and this print paste is going to contain the resident dye stuff and the discharging agent. On application, while the discharging agent of the print paste will discharge the ground color at the printed area, and the dye stuff, the green color, is get deposited and fix itself on the ground. As a result, color discharge effect will be obtained. Now we are going to see the characteristic feature of discharge printing. In discharge printing, the print design area is white or a different color shade than background. The background color is same shade on the face and the back of the fabric because fabric is piece dyed. The boundary of the print design shows white traces due to the background color removal. Now we will learn about the third printing style, that is resist. In this technique, a resist agent is applied onto the fabric according to the print design and then it is dyed. The dye affects only those parts that are not covered by the resist agents. After the fabric has been passed through the subsequent dyeing process, the resist agent is removed, leaving a white or a light color pattern on a dark background. The resist printing style is performed as a craft or a hand printing rather than on production basis. Some variation of resist printing are batik, tie and dye, ikat and dabu print. Now in brief we are going to see these variations. Let's start with the batik. Batik printing is a hand printing cottage industry where wax is used as a resisting agent. Batik are found mainly in Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Iran, Bangladesh, Thailand, India, China, Sri Lanka, Egypt and some part of Africa like Nigeria, Cameroon and Mali. It is believed that the art of batik printing has been practiced since ancient times in some part of southern India as well, especially in the Cholamandal village near Chennai. Batik is a process of decorating cloth by covering a part of it with a coat of wax and then dyeing the cloth. The art of batik is a three-stage process of waxing, dyeing and de-waxing. Firstly, the wax is used for creating a design on certain predefined area on the fabric. Secondly, the fabric is dyed and then the wax is removed by boiling the cloth in hot water. And the result is a beautiful piece of cloth with some very unconventional designs. These are a few samples of batik printing. The characteristic feature of batik are fine cracks, which is visible in these samples. Cracks are developed in the wax by crumpling the cloth, which allow small amount of dye to seep in. Tie and dye. This is another type of resist printing. Here, the dye is resisted by tying the fabric using various techniques before it is put in the dye bath. The untied portions take the color, but the tied areas do not allow the penetration of dye, and this produces the characteristic blur effect pattern. No machine cost is involved in this method. Thus, it is a simple technique, but at the same time, it is time consuming, laborious and it involves skilled labor. Center of tie and dye in India are Mandvi, Jamnagar, Mundra in Gujarat, Jodhpur, Jaipur, Udaipur in Rajasthan, Madurai in Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. These are few tying techniques You can tie the fabric in any ways. It is totally depend upon your imagination and creativity. These are the effect of tie and dye, and the three famous effect of tie and dye are Bandhani, Shibori and Leheriya. Ikat, it is another variation of resist style of printing, which is done prior to the weaving. It is similar to tie and dye, but here yarn is resisted to produce a ornamentation for fabric. In this method, woven fabric is produced by using tie-dyed warp yarns or weft yarns or both. The effects are very beautiful and resemble prints, though the design is actually achieved only after weaving. A lot of planning goes into production of ikat textile. And ikat textile are produced in India in Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Dabu printing, it is a mud resist hand block printing style which is practiced in Rajasthan. The term dabu comes from the Hindi word dabana, which means is to press. Dabu printing is also a unique art form. In this, a design is drawn onto the background cloth. This sketch design is covered with clay on which sawdust is sprinkled. The sawdust sticks to the cloth as the clay dries. Thereafter, the entire cloth is dyed in various colors. The area where the clay and the sawdust mixture is present, it will resist the dye and remain uncolored. After dyeing and drying, the cloth is washed to remove the clay and the mixture. And the final print resemble batik style. These are few Dabu printed fabrics. The Dabu print have sublime quality and appearance. And the process of Dabu uses lots of natural dyes and vegetable paste. Here we finished with the 4 different variation of resist style. Now we are moving toward the 4th style of textile printing, that is modern printing style. This style is also known as the dyed style of printing. Natural dyes are substantive and it requires mordant to fix to the fabric. Mordants are chemical or natural substance used in printing and dyeing with a natural dye, which help the chemical reaction to take place between the dye and the fiber. The mordant is printed in the desired pattern prior to the dyeing of the cloth, and during dyeing the color adheres only where the mordant has been printed. The selection of mordant is based on the type of dye, fiber and the color desired. Different mordants give different colors when they combine with the same dye. For example, algerine dye with the mordants such as alum, potassium dichromate and stainless chloride, it produces red, brown and pink color. The mordant were broadly classified into 3 types: metallic mordant, tannins and oil mordants. Matten mordant except alum and iron are considered toxic and therefore should be avoided in the preparation of eco-friendly. Many natural mordants such as marobilin and pomegranate are high in tannins and they are eco-friendly and help to give a very rich color. Natural dyes produce interesting color when they are combined with the mordant. Let's summarize. Today we have learned about 4 different styles of printing, which are direct style, discharge style, resist style and modern style. And we also learned about their variation. These are reference. Thank you.